Live.
Hello, this is Seth and Katrin with Blend Precisely once again. So, good morning, good evening, wherever you are. So, we're excited to show you some new changes. I've got a new look and feel and some new features that we think that you'll appreciate. We've been listening to what you wanted and we've implemented them. So, Katrin, if you can pull up your screen and show them what we got.
Hello, everyone. I just wanted to check and make sure that it looks like. I'll just remove go live here. I'm just trying. Somehow Facebook deleted one stream. It looks like this broadcast was deleted on Facebook. To stream to Facebook, create a new broadcast, or just remove this destination from the broadcast, then re-add it. Hey, something happened with Facebook. Give me just 1 second, because that is our group on Facebook. Somehow the broadcast got removed from there. So I'm going to add this one back in right now.
Okay, well, while you're doing that, I'll talk about some of the features. So we weren't very happy with the clunky save and update of the recipes. So we made it more obvious. We also added in plant parts, plant notes, chakras, and the botanical family, which you now can see and enter. Sorry, that you can't enter the plant information because that's tied to the raw ingredients themselves. So beyond that, we've got a lot of color changes. It'll stand out. We're interested in your feedback about what you think. So how are we doing over there, Katrin?
I'm good. So let me just start sharing the screen over here. So it should be share screen. Let me see this again. Application window. Nope. Sorry, sometimes it's just some hiccups, and it's every time I need to go surfing. So the kids are back surfing, so I'm in the car and I have to wait until they're ready. Give me just 1 second. I'm not sure why this one is.
One of the things that we added that we're real happy about that has been very desired is this blend scaling. And so now you have the ability to make a stock blend and change it. And you can scale it to whatever factor that you want, one to 1,000, I think. So that will be nice. And how are we doing there, Katrin?
Oh my God, new window. I'm going to open it up completely in a new window, and then that should work. I just closed down. They always say in software and everywhere else, if it doesn't work, reboot, right? So I'm not rebooting, but I'm definitely going to change the window because something isn't coming up from Safari, and maybe StreamYard does not like Safari. So I opened a new window. And I'm coming back to this one, and then let me see if I can share this one now. All right. Yes, I can. All right. Let me bring this up and let me know if you can see it. I keep us both here. I'm going to hide this one away so you see the entire screen. And maybe let me show you the entire screen like this. Okay, that should be a bit more visible. Feel free to ask some comments or questions in our comment section. If you're in the group, Blend Precisely group, make sure you allow StreamYard and let them know that you would like to comment. That is the only part with StreamYard which doesn't work so well in groups, but it does work great on the pages. So that's why we are streaming on both sides. So I'm pretty sure you can see my page at this point, and I'm going to start right now Just 1 second. I'm going to start actually working in it. So, all right. So we had a few things just up front. A few things will still change a little bit around because as we say, we are in a test environment, we're in the QA environment, and what that means is that it's not live yet, it's not in production, meaning it's not visible to you right now, because we are in the testing phase. But we wanted to give you already a little bit of a peek view, or at least let you see what it's all about. And we have a list here of new features. So first of all, I think the most dominant one is the color changes. We emphasized a few areas of the layout to make it a bit more visible. And we also changed a few colors here on the print buttons. They are just much more, zen, neutral, elegant, and easier to see. And then we also made a few changes throughout the app. And Seth, I think on the right-hand side here, on the recipe side, we changed the recipe name. So you basically go here and select your existing recipe. And I'm going to actually select one to just give you a little bit of more of a spiel here. So we have the recipe name. We moved everything what is important about blend calculation up. So text percentage, the markup, and the shipping. We also moved the prices up. And then we have here categories, instructions, and notes. I'm just going to check if Seth... Are you still there, Seth? Okay. So let me choose a different recipe. I think this will work. Exactly. So the blend percentage comes up. So we basically moved the calculations up. We moved a little bit of the categories, instructions, and notes down. And we have the recipe name now here as well. So the way it would work is you could make a change to the recipe and could add another. Seth? Can you go
Yes.
on mute? Can you go on mute? It's really loud since you got back. Yeah. Okay, thank you. So the recipe name has now a little bit a pop-up window. So what that means is you can save a new recipe under a different name and underscore it and say, okay, so if you make changes, but you would like to keep the old recipe, you can now basically save a new recipe in this new pop-up window. You put in the new name and say save as, put a new name here or in addition to the old name and say, okay. And so you will be able to save the same, more or less the same recipe or whatever changes you did to the recipe, you will be able to save.
Also, I'd like to mention that you can, if you want to not just create a copy and just change the name, you can do that with the recipe name and just say save. That doesn't update instead of.
So you mean if I put here $2.95 for shipping, obviously the costs will change here. So right now, the retail price is $8.29. We're going to add $2.95 to shipping. So the total price is going to be $11.16. And then I just can go ahead and click save, right?
Right. But you can also change the name where it says recipe name. That will just update the name in case you typed it in. You said, oh, I don't want to call it that. I want to call it something else.
And that's what I just did. I called it cut at the end, and then I can go ahead and click save now with the... and it says recipe updated. So these are just a few changes to the saving part because it was before not as clear that you can actually create a duplication, give it a different name, or make addition and save it then as a same name as well. Okay, so another really exciting part is, and that is heading towards cosmetic formulations as well, and everything in terms of multiple recipes or multiple clients, or if you need to scale your recipe, you know now here, based on the recipe, what the total grams are. And we are working with grams because cosmetic formulations is the most accurate ones using grams and percentages. So we want to work accurate. It's called blend precisely. So we are blending precisely. So the total grams basically is 30.43 grams over here. What you can now do is scale the recipe by whatever you need to scale it. And you just saw that it's now 60.87 grams, and it also is now here doubled everything. So that is a really cool feature if you need to do some kind of batch processing, or you just need to test a small recipe, but you don't want to do a huge amount. So you say, okay, I'm going to do a small 10-gram product, but then at the end it turned out really well, and then you can go ahead and scale it up to 100 grams or 200 grams or whatever it needs to be. So let me just stop sharing to see if there are any questions for a moment. And I'm going to go back to my screen. Just 1 second. Okay, I think we are good right now. Lovely. Yeah, so I'm going to go back to sharing. If you have questions, let us know. We are here. So the next part, what we changed, and that was a request from quite a few of you, is that we added, okay, let me just show you. As you know, we have already the blend percentage part, and we already have the calculations in grams and percentage here, but we added more shards. So the dilution ratio of 1.44% is always great to know. But if you click on show more shards, and we will change that a little bit, it's going to be a little bit bigger, and it's also going to have a legend on the side. But basically, and the shard part is going to go away because it's obvious that it's a shard. But plant part, plant node, the botanical family, and as well the chakras are now visible here as well. And we want to make this whole thing printable, so we are working on this still, but we wanted to give you a quick overview. For example, here we use the aerial parts for this blend, flowering plants, and also the peel, because we have lemon in here. And then plant nodes, we have 38.5% of a middle node. Then we have a top to middle node, which is 23.1%. And then we have the top node, which is most likely the lemon is heavy, as well as the lavender is actually a middle node. So we should, and we do. We have the same amount, 38.5%, 38.5% for top and middle node. That is because lavender is a middle node and lemon is a top node. And Roman chamomile counts as a top to middle node. That's why the percentage is obviously smaller. So this is really nice. But again, we're going to make this a little bit bigger and printable, hopefully, right, Seth? That's at least my wish, that I can have a printout of this and a legend. And then the botanical family as well. That was another one. You can see this now too. And I believe the small numbers, and maybe that's hard to see on your screen right now. And I said my eyes are hurting when I see the small ones right now. But I think the 0.2 is grams, and the 23.1%, obviously it says percent. So again, we are working with grams in here. And then we have the chakra shard, which is lovely. The third eye chakra, the heart chakra, the crown chakra, and the solar plexus chakra is in this blend. And obviously these two, the solar plexus and the crown chakra, are more dominant. So that is the part on the chakras or the blends. Seth, anything I was missing?
Nope, I think you got it.
Yeah, so this is really lovely. Thank you so much. That's exciting. I think, can we just look at our list? You sent over, what else? Blend scaling we talked about. The color changes we talked a little bit about. In tooltip mouse over. Oh, okay, yes, right. The mouse over, that's this one, show more statistics. That's for the blend part. Oh, sorry.
No, if you mouse over like Roman chamomile.
Oh, you mean lemon in this case.
There, you had it. Nope. There, just over the name. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so you can see individually which one is which family for this.
Yeah, I think it needs a tiny bit more space between these ones. But that's really cool. So you can see the individual ones here too. Right. And then this one is our safety information.
Yep. Yes.
But we had that one before.
Mhm.
Show more statistics. We showed this one here. That was the shards. Blend scaling, awesome feature. Save as pop-up, that I really liked, and that was actually based on my son who, right? Max kept on saying, no, Seth, it's gotta be like this. So we got that one done too. Raw ingredients additions, of course, more essential oils, more carrier oils, more hydrosols, different butters have been added. So you can now upload your own ones using our Excel spreadsheets with the new additions. They will come out, not right now, but they will come out. And you will also be able to use them in here. We added quite a few more oils. Oh, Seth, are the parts and family notes going to be visible here actually too on the pop-up?
Yes, you can sort by them. You can search for them.
Oh, I'm in, that's why I'm in carrier oils. Sorry. That's why they were invisible. Let me go over here. Okay, got it. So, yeah, so we are working on finalizing the chakra parts right now. And the node parts and everything is in already. Yes, and I think we need a bit more space because, yeah, we need to see how we do the spacing. Okay, so more raw ingredients. Loading of recipes, speed it up a little bit. Sped up, right? Sorry, not speed it up, sped up.
Yep.
Ability to change recipe name we have. And also the recipe name moved to the bottom. So here, when you create a new recipe, we basically went by first step, second step, third step. You go through the calculation and then you give the recipe a name. If you're watching right now, I'm just actually curious what you think that entering the recipe name is happening at the end. Is there normally anybody who would be saying, oh, I have my recipe name already right away in the beginning? I'm going to stop sharing. And I actually use the recipe name right in the beginning, meaning I start with the recipe name and I don't put it in at the end. Tracy, hello. I like the flow on the right. It matches the flow of how I work. Okay. Also, the gram conversation and scaling is awesome. You make it look easy. No questions yet. Well, I have been testing that tool in and out for 2.5 years. So don't, yeah, it's going to come all. Oh my gosh, that chart set is a great snapshot and you added chakras. This will go a long way in consulting. It will. I'm so happy about that. Was the 100 in dilution ratio always there? Don't remember it. The 100 in dilution ratio. On the right-hand side. Yes, that was always there. You mean probably the dilution chart where it starts with a 0 and all goes it all the way goes to the 100%. So yeah, that was already there before, because if you do a stock blend, and I think there was a discussion, Seth, at one point around it, that it shouldn't probably be 100% because it was confusing to some of the users.
Yeah,
So
we were looking at putting in a note just to say what the meaning is, but technically it is correct. If it says 100, it's a dilution ratio, which is the essential oils divided by the carrier oils. So if you have only, it's really arbitrary how you want to represent that. But give us your opinion. We'll put it into the mix and we'll go from there.
yeah, it's basically if you have 100% there, that means you're only using 100% essential oils and they're not diluted. That's why the 100% is on the right-hand side, which always alarms, of course. It's like, okay, you should be diluting it at one point and not use fully. Stock blend should be 100%. Exactly, Jackie. Yep. Yeah, you're right. Okay, so Jackie said I don't name until the end anyway, so it's good for me. All right. I'm thinking of the stock blend. Exactly. Okay, thanks, Seth. Tracy says, yeah. Okay, well, I think so. Next week we have got so much good stuff coming up. I'm so excited about this all. But we're trying to put this live by the end of next week. I want to give it some thorough testing and everything else, but the plan is to get it live by the end of next week, and you will have the new features available. We're working then, so this one is our 2.0 release, and then after that we're gonna have the next big release, and there's some good stuff cooking as well, and it's gonna help basically everyone in terms of customers, and I'm not gonna say too much right now because it's exciting. But yeah, anything else you want to add, Seth?
Yeah, absolutely. So from our last live meeting, we presented some information. We saw some differences between the what we would see on the arthritis recipes that Katrin drew down, and she was showing how it was different in our app. And I dug down into that a little more deeper, and the core difference was that most of the schools are teaching that 6 drops per milliliter is equal to a 1% dilution. And if you translate that into drops per milliliter, that
No,
comes
6 drops per 30 milliliters. So 5 to 6 drops in 30 milliliters they teach is a 1% dilution. I think Tracy mentioned as well. So you just said 1 milliliter. That's why I'm just correcting.
Okay. Right.
So 6 drops in 30 milliliters is the 1% dilution.
Right. Okay. So as it turns out, that's an incorrect number. That translates into 20 drops per milliliter. And according to Tisserand, he's saying that on average, drops are anywhere between 20 and 40 drops per milliliter. So what the schools have all been teaching is old information, it's at the very low end of the drops per milliliter. So we're using the average, which is 30 drops per milliliter, which translates into 9 drops per 30 milliliters is a 1% dilution. It's an average. It's inaccurate. Drops are just inaccurate, but it's better to use the 30 drops per milliliter or 9 drops per 30 milliliters to give you a 1% dilution. I hope that wasn't too confusing.
That is so confusing right now.
Yeah. So at any rate, I just wanted to let you know we went and double checked and looked at what was happening. And it's basically the schools are teaching old information, and we're using the new information that's based on research.
Yeah, and it was based, I don't know who was online or who saw our last video, because I presented 3 different recipes. And the schools were mentioning this one is a 2% dilution. Well, Blend Precisely was showing a 1.44% dilution, which is partially a change of 30%. So they are still going, and we have double checked that with okay, so yeah, I know I've double checked that information one more time as well. And I was just looking at Jackie's comment, and so yeah, that's how the difference came about. But Jackie was just saying, Jackie, I gotta show that comment. That is such a pain that I wrote my paper about it. You did write the paper about it. I remember we talked about this, and that was brave of you to write it. Oh, you're taking, Jackie, great. So you're taking Tisserand's skincare class. How is it? I want to know. I think he said he started the rumor about 20 milliliters, but he said that later, after more extensive testing, is more like 30 per milliliter. Exactly. And we double checked that with him as well. And we're all on the same page. So we just wanted to say, basically, the recipes you find on the internet, they most likely are working on older information and not the new corrected one. The app is working on the new corrected one. So you will have partially a 30% difference. That's not nice to say like this. 30% difference there. So that means you can probably add, to have it more therapeutic, more effective for some blends, you probably could add a few more drops. Yeah, Jackie, I want to know how the class is. I'm really curious about the skincare class Tisserand put out just a few days ago. I heard it's supposed to be really nice. Yeah, so Tracy said I don't add a name until the end either. This is so exciting. Okay, great, great. I'm so glad. We really try to build this tool as per your needs. So as you can see, we're extremely flexible still. And so, yeah, we appreciate any kind of feedback. And then Jackie says, I love all of the Tisserand's classes. The current one is formulation with Lisa Anderson. The skincare class is an older one. Oh, I see. Okay, gotcha. Right, right. So right now they're doing the Lisa. Yes, okay. But that's good to know. Well, thank you so much. Is there anything else?
I think
Next
we're
week,
good.
yeah, so next week we're going to talk a little bit more about cosmetic formulation as well. But we definitely wanted to give you a peek view of what's coming now. And yeah, it's software development, so don't be mad if it is not right out on Sunday next week. But I'm promising I'm pushing Seth as much as I can from here, including my testing from my side. So that needs to be done thoroughly. And I've got a German dad. Maybe we should put him back on. Yeah, so, okay, Tracy, exactly. That's good to know about updates and calculations. Tisserand has a new calculation class coming up. Exactly. And that one is the one with Hannah, I think. And they really put so much effort into everything. So I would definitely say look it up and check in there as well. Yeah, good. Yes. Wonderful. All right. All good. I want it. Laughing out loud. Thank you, Tracy. I wish you a great weekend. Seth, I wish you a beautiful Seattle morning, afternoon. No, morning still.
Morning.
I'm going to go surfing. Look at that. My girl and my son started surfing. My son is already surfing, and I have to pick up my girl now to go surfing. I'm going to put for the first time a wetsuit on. I've never had that before. I'm going to go into the cold, cold Atlantic Ocean and going to do my best to freshen up again. So, yeah, so we'll see how it goes. Let you know next time.
Okay.
Excited. Have a good week,
Mm-hmm.
everyone. Bye-bye. Ciao. Ciao, Jackie. Ciao, Tracy. You've been online. Heroes.